Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, this is episode 19 of... Yes, this is episode 19, Back to My Future, 2011. Wow, guys, we've got 5 episodes left. Oh, this is getting so nerve-wracking. Because this is for me, between 2009 to 2016 is where better movies started coming out. Now, don't get me wrong, from 93 to 2008, we did get some really good gems and stuff like that, some really good eye-opening experiences in the movies and stuff like that, but for some reason 2009 to 2016 is where more powerful movies started coming out. Now, a couple of announcements to make after this video, but I just want to know some of these titles that I've chosen, not everyone may have seen, and as you know, all my Back to My Future episodes, I only choose movies that I consider, this is like my top so-and-sos of movies. All of these are my lists of what I consider the best movies of that year. So, you don't have to get all angry because that you guys have chosen movies that you guys didn't like. You don't have to get all miserable and angry. It's just what I consider the better movies for me that came out in that year. Let's get into this. So I'm going to go through the movies individually first, and then I'll talk a little bit about something else afterwards. So on February 4th, we got Sanctum, done by James Cameron. It is probably one of the most anxious movies I've watched, but also one of the most exciting ones. With stuff like Avatar and Titanic, with stuff like that though, Cameron did some amazing, phenomenal work. But with Sanctum, he did something a little different. This is about Australian cave divers, who were going for the most biggest cave they've ever found, and basically what happens is stuff just starts happening where they keep getting trapped under the rocks. Floods start happening because the rain hits the cave, starts overflowing the cave, so they've got to try and escape through another side of it. They're all trapped down, they can't reach the top. Some of the holes that they've dug through have caved in. So watching that movie, especially if you've got a fear of claustrophobia, which I do, feeling like you're encaged or enclosed somewhere where there's only small dark spaces but you have a lot of people, it terrifies me. But has one of the best 3D Blu-ray releases ever. So watching that in 3D while having claustrophobia fears is one of the worst things you could ever possibly do. Alright, so then on February 25th, we got Drive Angry. Now, was it a great movie? Probably not. But was it the way that Nicolas Cage should have played Ghost Rider? Hell yeah! That there, the character he plays in Drive Angry, was the guy he should have been. Ghost Rider should have been that. He should have acted like that for Ghost Rider, because that was the attitude Ghost Rider had. He was a badass motorcyclist. That's what he should have been. Not this whole, what are you doing here? Not that kind of, like, he's on drugs. I love the original Ghost Rider, but this is how this movie shows me a different side of what I could have expected Ghost Rider to be. So that's why I enjoy it. Some badass scenes. Also has incredible 3D. Then on March 11th, we got one of my favourite fantasy movies, and it is the Amanda Seyfried Red Riding Hood. Now, if anyone tries to give me any shit, yes, it's done by the people that done Twilight, but this was such a unique twist on the Red Riding Hood movies. I really enjoyed this. I loved. If you haven't seen any of these movies, I know it's a bit too late by 2 movies, but if you've not seen any of these movies, if I name the title of the movie and you see the picture, just skip ahead to the next movie, because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Because I'm going to talk little bits about each movie. I know it's 2 movies late, but I thought I'd do it now. But I like the link between the werewolf can communicate in his werewolf form, telepathically with his flesh and blood. I like that. I like how only his flesh and blood can hear his voice. Apparently it's the same for all wolves. I enjoy it, but I enjoyed Amanda Seyfried's role in this. Michael Shanks. Also, the guy who plays Bella's dad from Twilight is also in this movie. But I just loved their choice of cast. It worked. It looked great. Gary Oldman played a very brilliant performance in it. Just a really phenomenal kind of movie, and it's definitely enjoyable on Blu-ray. It was one of the most visually stunning experiences I ever watched. Because the first time I watched that movie, I watched it on a 50-inch full HD TV, and this is when I first started getting into Blu-rays years ago. When I first tried them out, and wow, March 25th, Sucker Punch. Oh, there's not one bad thing I can say about Sucker Punch. It's everything. It's a psychological thriller mixed in with a fantasy, mixed in with a drama. It's everything. And freaking badass. I love the sequences when, like, she's dancing, but then it turns into this big badass action sequence. Like, oh, they're so good. I think I put that on my top... Years ago, I'd done a top 20 movies that should have been released on 3D Blu-ray. I think I chose Sucker Punch as one of them. Just because of how amazing those sci-fi scenes are. Those would have been so much... Like when she does the battle against the samurais. You know, when she's fighting the big zeppelin and the zombie-like creatures. She has to slay the dragon. Like, just awesome. But they also yet again got a great cast for that as well. Oscar Isaacs. Yeah. I like Oscar Isaacs now. I hated him in Sucker Punch, but I like him now. He's done a lot better. Then on June 3rd, X-Men First Class. Now, before anyone says anything, I like X-Men. I like X-Men 2. Guilty pleasure, I love X-Men 3 Last Stand. I don't know why, there's just something exciting about seeing Beast for the first time. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer. But the ending when he kicks ass, that was kind of cool. And, you know, I'm sorry, but Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut was awesome. As a movie, it was definitely... But it had some good qualities. I hated Wolverine Origins. I'm not too keen on The Wolverine. I thought it was okay, but I was definitely not too keen on it. Considering it was meant to be set way before he joined the X-Men in the comics. One of my comic friends who's like massively into comics, like knows everything about them, turned around and said, nah, the only reason I don't like that movie is because apparently it's set before he knew the X-Men. That's how he learnt his martial artist fighting skills and stuff. So for me, I don't know, but it was just something about it, even ignoring that, something about the Wolverine just didn't excite me enough. I thought it was a bit too just messed up. Days of Future Past, I cannot stand. I really, really, really did not like Days of Future Past. The only thing I liked was when Wolverine wakes up and he's got the bone claws and he's like chatting crap to the guys about sleeping with the woman. That was it. There's nothing else about Days of Future Past that could even the slightest bit make me feel happy about watching that movie. But X-Men First Class set up the new generation of X-Men movies. I love the people they got to... I mean, I love... Nicholas Hoult as Hank McCoy. Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, probably not. She's okay. I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's a great actress. But as Mystique, something didn't feel quite right. But oh my gosh. Michael Fassbender as young Magneto. Awesome. James McAvoy as the young Professor Xavier. Awesome. Also, don't forget, they had... okay. Kevin Bacon... was but look at the other cast they had. Look at all the people that played the younger X-Men. Like it wasn't Angel, it wasn't Fairy, I can't remember her name. But you had Darwin who could like adapt to anything, Havoc, Banshee, all. So it was just great to have this group, and for some reason it's my favourite X-Men movie. My second's Apocalypse. That you'll understand why in the future. First Class just gave such a brilliant opening to the origin of the X-Men. It was fantastic. Sorry, I ranted on that one for a bit. And last but not least, this one, if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you do skip this until you can see by the images that I've stopped talking about it. Just because this movie is probably in my top 20 of favourite movies of all time. December 16th, Sherlock Holmes and the Game of Shadows. Oh. Now, as we all know, sequels can be a big ass fail in any kind of movie saga, in a trilogy. Sequels can let us down. I like the Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes, both of the movies. The Game of Shadows was twice better than the first. People might not agree. Only reason is look at fucking Moriarty. Oh my gosh. One, if anyone recognises who played Moriarty, he's the guy from Mr. Deeds. Like, he's him. That's Moriarty. But as we know from the original Sherlock Holmes, from the books, to even I've never seen a Benedict Cumberbatch, but I know he's in that one in the series. Moriarty is the evil Sherlock Holmes. He is the exact same, or if not, slightly more intelligent Sherlock Holmes, but for the bad people. Now, there is a fight scene, which if you've not seen it, I've done a video some point last year called Top 10 Best Fights in Movies. This was, it was either number 1 or it was number 3. It was definitely on that list. But, Sherlock plans, because Sherlock's got like a broken arm or a damaged shoulder, and he's planning on how he can attack Moriarty, but knows how Moriarty can get on him. And Moriarty's thinking the exact same fight. They are pre-planning in their head exactly what outcome's going to happen.
His advantage, my injury. My advantage, his rage. Incoming assault, feral, but experienced. Use his momentum to counter.
Come now. You really think you're the only one who can play this game? Trap arm. Target weakness. Follow with haymaker.
Ah, there we find the boxing champion of Cambridge.
Competent, but predictable. Now, allow me to reply.
Arsenal running dry. Adjust strategy.
Wound taking its toll.
As I feared, injury makes defense untenable. Prognosis increasingly negative.
Let's not waste any more of one another's time.
And it is awesome. You see in the first one, Sherlock Holmes planning how he's like when he's fighting in the ring, doing the underground fighting thing. You see him planning how he's going to hit the guy and take him down. But in this, you can see Sherlock and Moriarty having the exact same fight, and both the exact same outcomes of how it's going to happen, and they both know exactly how it's going to end. And for me, that was awesome. Like, that was so exhilarating. I watched it and I was like, fuck! It was brilliant. It was perfect. Okay, the ending was a bit silly, but that was awesome. Plus, there's just some great comedic moments in this. Now, if you haven't seen, like I said, I hope you skipped, because that's practically the ending of the movie, what I just told you. But if you have seen it, there's the bit where Sherlock throws Watson's wife off the train into the water to save her. And Watson's like strangling. Did you just kill my wife? He goes, don't be upset. Did you just kill my new wife? Like, while Sherlock's wearing a pink dress. It was just an awesome movie, and it was brilliant. And I enjoy the chemistry between Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. I enjoy their chemistry. It works brilliantly. So yeah, that is the list of the movies for this episode of Back to My Future. So like I said, a couple of mini announcements at the end. As you know, we're 5 episodes away from the end of this series. I will be doing a Back to My Future at the end of every single year, and I'm going to explain why. Because the 5th and final episode of Back to My Future for 2016 is going to be my top 10 movies of 2016. I know I should do that much sooner, but I thought as it's going to be the last special episode until the end of this year, 2017, I thought why not make it a bigger special video. So 10 movies, my top 10 of 2016. So I thought, okay, so at the end of every year, instead of just doing a top 10, my top 10 will be called Back to My Future, episode so-and-so, top 10 of 2017. So the title will change by top 10 in it, but it will still be Back to My Future because it will still be going ahead in time. To the recent time I'm in. So when I be in 2018 or going into 2018, I'll be doing the best of 2017. You know, so it'll go like that. I just thought that'd be a great way to do it. I thought it'd be a good way to keep doing the series, just do it every year, but instead of just saying my top 10 best or my top 10 worst, because I don't watch every single movie that comes out in each year, I never really have a worst list. Like, I'm just going to tell you now, there's only one movie I've watched this year that I hated, and that was The Remains. And if you want to know how much I hate that movie, go watch the review. Never been more angry at a movie in my life other than The Mist. just no. But yeah, so at the end of every year now, going ahead, I will be doing a Back to My Future so-and-so. But I am looking forward to this series not ending. I'm just looking forward to progressing to this year because there's so many movies that's come out since, I'd say, I started doing my YouTube video Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff around about just at the end of 2012, beginning of 2013. So I've been doing this for about nearly 4 years. And I never really did like proper movie reviews or anything like that. So it'd be nice to actually talk about the movies that I never really got a chance to talk about for the past 3 to 4 years. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that anyway. I know 2012 I'm looking forward to doing, so I know a lot of great movies came out in 2012. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. So it's going to be in March now, the final episode. So you still got a month and a week. But it will be episode 23, top 10 of 2016. I am looking forward to doing that, just because there are a lot of movies that I loved last year that, yet again, I never really got to talk about as much as I would like to have, but I'm hoping to talk about them more soon. Yeah, that is the end of this episode. If you enjoyed these videos and previous videos before this, please show your support by clicking that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to strike the like button for future videos, and I will see you next time.